Hello guys, and welcome to another track showcase. This time it is Angell Park Speedway, and this track is another World of Outlaw that the track is finished but the scenery is not. I'm letting my brother do the scenery again, and he hasn't gotten it done, so I just have the track to show you. But Angell Park is based off of a real life track of the same name, Angell Park Speedway. On the turns, it has a guardrail on the inside, which is really interesting, keeps things intense when people hit the guardrail, because sometimes they'll just sort of bounce off of it and keep going. Sometimes when you hit the guardrail, that'll happen and you'll get a bad spin, a bad crash. That guardrail is very dangerous, you really got to watch out for it. But the track, the whole inside middle line is flat. This is a flat track similar to Reesville. Not sure if I've reviewed that, but this is a completely flat track besides the outside. The outside has some banking, and the outside really keeps the track interesting because, for one, on this corner, if you hug the inside, you can't keep your momentum. You have to slide outside, which keeps things interesting because the people that run the outside throughout the whole corner are going to be doing a lot of crossovers on exit, so they don't get put in the wall. You see right here, though, you can just run the outside around the whole corner and you hold your momentum easily. The only thing is you have those people on the inside that are trying to keep their momentum. You have them sliding up, so you got to be careful for those guys. And often when you're racing on this track, you'll see a lot of the outside runners sort of dive down to the inside about right there to avoid the people on the inside sliding up, which keeps the racing very close. There could be potentially a lot of crashes here. But, flat tracks are, a lot of people don't like them because they're flat. But this one is very interesting because of the guardrail and because of the outside line. The outside line bit of banking keeps things interesting, for sure. This one has the slanted walls, but the slanted walls, you can't run them as well as you can on other trach. I'm so used to saying trach with my friends. The slanted walls are still here, but they're not like the slanted walls on, say, Eagle River, where you can basically run them, or on Chili Bowl, where you can basically run the walls. Here, they're slanted so that they don't, wreck you, so that you don't lose your momentum when you hit them. But at the same time, you can't really ride them like you can on a track like Chili Bowl. I mean, you can sometimes, but most of the times, that'll happen. But that was a certain spot on the track. Like, I'll give you another example. Like right here. You can run them, but they're still not as smooth, mainly because of the way the turns are, that the slanted walls might be on other tracks. But there's just so many different lines you can take through the corners on this track, because the outside line being banked, and, ooh, see how I sort of just bounced off the guardrail? That also happens sometimes. But, the guardrail, the way the turns are, the outside line, the flat inside line, all these things keep the track very interesting. This will be a World of Outlaws Season 2 track, as we're doing the other flat track, Reesville. We're doing that for this season. However, I still am going to make some adjustments to this track. For example, I'm considering making this outside line right here a little bit wider, but I kind of like how it's tight. I like how it's tight because this corner, it should be wide, since this corner is so hard to keep your momentum through. But this corner, it's a little bit easier to keep your momentum, so I kind of like keeping it tight to keep things interesting. Also, my friends are suggesting that, similar to the front stretch, I should make the back stretch. I should always have that outside line, but I think that rundown keeps, I think it's another thing that just, keeps the track interesting. And, it just adds another dynamic to the racing that could cause crashes, could cause good racing, tight battles, stuff like that. Also, this track, as with many flat tracks, we've only made 2 so far, Reesville and this. But with flat tracks, it's very easy to spin out. And on this track, it's the same way on this track as with any flat track. It's very easy to spin out here, and at the same time, it's very easy to almost spin out like I just did and hold your momentum. So you gotta really be good at flat track racing if you want to be fast here. Like, watch this. I'll give you an example. Just gonna see. If you turn it too hard, you're definitely gonna spin out here. It's just the way it is. But overall, it's a really fun track. There's many different lines. The racing here is surprisingly better than I thought it'd be. I did a little test race, and it was really fun. This track has plenty of crossovers because of the banked outside. The people that run the outside get crossovers on the inside runners all the time. It's awesome. The guardrail is intense. Sometimes people, they'll be stuck in a tight battle. They want to cut it far inside, and then boosh, guardrail, and they wreck. So just overall, very interesting track. This is just another example of me wanting to do something different because I cannot make a track that's just a normal track. Every track has to have something unique about it. And with this track, it's a flat track, but it has banking around the outside and it has the guardrail. On top of that, it's a remake, so, it has something unique about it. There's Tyler. Should tell him to watch this video. But anyways, pretty unique track. Very good for World of Outlaw. Very good if you want to race your friends on it. It could be pretty intense, especially with the guardrail. People that aren't as good as running the inside will hit that guardrail a lot, and it's kind of funny when they hit it. Like, some people will try to get a really good dive line like that, and then boosh, guardrail. The guardrail is just so much fun. It causes a lot of crashes and just a lot of intense battles because, people, they want to run close to it, but they don't want to run too close, so they slide wide. Then, for example, somebody running the outside would have just slid on my inside as soon as I let it open. So you really just got to be used to racing these type of tracks, and you got to know how to race these type of tracks. You got to know how to hold your momentum off the corner, since that's very difficult to do here. You got to know how to hug the inside. You got to know how to cross over the outside. This track's I'm going to say it's going to be one of the more difficult tracks in World of Outlaws Season 2 to win at, because of, you just have to be an all-around very skilled racer, and you gotta have a lot of moves up your sleeve if you want to win here. But anyways, there's another track showcase, Angell Park Speedway. I'll see you guys next time.